Hello, welcome to Dress Up Tara's channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss and share with you all the summary of the proposition in simple terms for the 2018 general election in California. I am just going to inform about the proposition, not which proposition you should vote. I'm just going to explain the proposition in simple terms. So keep in mind when you vote for a proposition, just think that if the proposition will benefit the government or the proposition will benefit the citizens in California. To begin with, authorize funds to fund specified housing assistance programs. This is a housing assistance programs for the homeless veterans and the low-income residents. The housing program will be funded for $2 billion bond, and the bond will need to be repaid back for $170 million for the next 35 years. If this gets supported, the state cost will increase to provide housing assistance for the low income, and this bond will need to be repaid back. Like I mentioned earlier, the $2 billion bond needs to be repaid back $100 million per year for the next 35 years. Moving on to the second proposition. Authorize bonds to fund existing housing programs for individuals with mental illness. This bond is asking approval for more money for the program who have mental illness that are homeless. If this gets supported, the state will use up to $140 million per year to repay the $2 million bond for this program. Proposition 3. Authorize bond to fund project for water supply quality, watershed fish, wildlife, water conveyancy, and groundwater sustainability and storage. This allow $8.8 billion for a water protection, asking for more money on water supply and groundwater sustainability, and needs to be repaid back the bond for $430 million for the next 40 years. The water prop fund will be given to the organization and it will increase interest. Proposition 4. Authorize bonds funding construction at hospital providing children's health care. This proposition means that the funding, construction, and equipment will go towards to a hospital for children healthcare facilities. This will give money to the hospitals. The proposition does not explain if the money is going towards to the county hospitals children care, because the county hospitals are small and they send those children to a hospital like CHOC. This bond is $1.5 billion and needs to be repaid for $80 million in the next 35 years. When I was looking at this booklet for this proposition, it does not explain what hospitals are they funding or where the funds going to the county hospital or the general company hospital. I looked more into the proposition that states in the book, and it says that if it gets passed, the fund will go to nonprofit for supplies and equipment and research to cure for children. Proposition 5 is changes requirement for certain property owners to transfer their property tax base to replacement property. So this proposition means that the elderly of ages 55 and up will get a tax break when they are looking to buy or move to a new property. Then the working adults have to pay regular market. The pros for this proposition is that the ages of 55 and older pay less on homeowner property taxes. And the cons is that the state will receive less money. Proposition 6. Eliminate certain road repairs and transportation funding requires certain fuel taxes and vehicle fees be approved by the voters. So this proposition is saying that the government is asking permission to tax the gas and vehicle. If you vote yes, it will get rid of the 2017 law. If you vote no, is keeping the 2017 law, which is increasing the sales tax prices that a citizens pay, and the government makes a decision of the prices and not allow the public to vote. Proposition 7 conforms California daylight saving time to federal law. If you vote yes on this prop, it means ending the time annual government and economics research control. If you vote no on this proposition, is continuing and allowing the government to be in charge of the time change. Proposition 8, regulate amounts of patient kidney dialysis clinics charge for dialysis treatment. So this means it's just overcharging. The clinics have the ability to overcharge, so This is where the clinic raises the price costs as they want. So the clinics do overcharge the patient to the insurance. So the clinics and the hospital overcharge insurance and price. Saying yes will stop the California and clinic tax increase and the overcharge. Saying no is continuing for the clinics to overcharge. Proposition 9 has been removed, so we're going to go on to Proposition 10. Proposition 10 is expand local government authority to enact rent control on residential property. So this is rent control. The landlords are raising the rent prices as they want, and the Prop 10 protects the tenants to control rent costs from the landlord. Proposition 11 requires private sector emergency ambulance employees to remain on call during work break. Ambulance employees is being interrupted by their company 911 calls. When there is a 911 call and the ambulance has to stop their lunch break and go to the job assignment right away, and once the ambulance completed their job, they can go back and continue their lunch break. Saying yes is continuing for the employees to do their duties during their lunch break. Saying no is letting the employees finish their break and lunch time and cannot be interrupted by a 911 call. Proposition 12. Establishing new standards for confinement of specified farm animals bans sales of non-compliant products. It's a law for the farmers to have a free and more open space for the animals and not have the animals in a closed gated small space. If the farm space is small for the animals, then the farmers cannot sell because they did not meet the requirements for animals to have a bigger space. Saying yes is establishing the animals to have more space. Saying no is keeping the animals in a small space at a farm. Okay, these are all the California proposition. And remember, we are the people. We have a voice to make a choice and make a difference in our society. Also, the Constitution does state we, the people, and we have control over our government. So go vote. If you are not sure of your decision, just have this as a reminder. Does this prop benefits for the government, or does it benefit for the citizen and the society? So it'll be easier to make your decision. And this is the end of the video, and have a nice day. We'll see how the results come out after this election. So bye.